Greetings everyone. My name is Shalini. I'm currently pursuing my BE degree in Computer Science and Engineering at SVCE. In this video, we will be knowing about manipulating strings. So here are the contents: strings, introduction, escape characters, raw strings, multi-line strings, string creation and basic operations, string concatenation, string replication, accessing characters in a string, modifying strings, searching in a string, then splitting and joining strings, common string methods. At last we have summary. Moving on to the topic, strings and its introduction. In Python, a string is a sequence of characters enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. Example, hello world is enclosed between double quotes, hence it is considered as a string. Then strings are immutable, which means that they cannot be changed once they are created. Further, we have escape characters. An escape character consists of a backslash followed by the character you want to add to the string. So, for example, the escape character for a single quote is a backslash followed by the single quote. We have an example code here. A variable is declared, that is spam, which is having a string that is say hi to Bob and has an escape character here, that is backslash followed by the single code as and mother. So the output would be say hi to Bob's mother, including the single quote. Python knows that since the single quote in the use example as a backslash, it is not a single quote meant to end the string value. It considers it as the part of string. Next, we have raw strings. A raw string completely ignores all escape characters and prints any backslash that appears in the string. So, for example, here before the string, we have the letter R, which indicates the raw string, and we have the string that is Carol and the escape character as cat. So, same will be printed, that will be shown in the output. Because this is a raw string, Python considers the backslash as the part of string and not as the start of an escape character. Further, we have multi-line strings. A multi-line string in Python begins and ends with either three single quotes or three double quotes. Any quotes, tabs, or new lines in between the triple quotes are considered as a part of the string. Here we have an example, that is a multi-line string. Here the multi-line string used here is Dear Alice, Eve's cat has been arrested for catnapping, cat burglary, and extortion. Sincerely, Bob. Here in this multi-line string, quotes, tab spaces, or new lines are used. These are printed same as it is as shown here. Because this is a multi-line string, these quotes, tab spaces are also considered as a part of the string, so it is printed as it is. By the by, we have string creation and basic operations. Strings can be assigned to variables, like as we are assigned a string that is John to a variable that is name, and there will be some operations, basic operations performed on strings, that is concatenation and replication. So concatenation adds or joins two strings, and replication replicates or duplicates the given string multiple times. So we will be knowing about these topics in depth in the further slides. So we have string concatenation. Concatenation is the process of joining strings together. So the plus sign is used to join the strings. That is the concatenation operator, which is used to join two string values. Here we have an example. The first variable used is a first name, which is having a string that is John, and the next variable is last name, which is having the string that is Doe. Then these two strings are concatenated and assigned to another variable, that is a full name. So when you concatenate these two strings, the result will be John Doe. If you require any spaces, you can use the spaces enclosed between double quotes, which gives you the required result. Next, we have string replication. String replication is a process of creating multiple copies of a given string. So, the a star-like sign is used here as a replication operator, which is used to duplicate the original string a certain number of times, which results in a string that consists of a repeated instances of the original string. Here we have the example: a string that is Alice. After that, the replication operator is used. After that, the integer value is used. The output would be alias 5 times. So if in the place of the integer value, if any floating point number or a string values are used, Python gives us an error saying that this is not an integer value or this cannot be converted into integer. So we have to use the integer value after the replication operator. Further, we have accessing characters in a string. So individual characters in a string can be accessed using indexing. So indexing starts from 0 and further it move on. So here we have an example. Consider a variable that is name having a string that is John. So accessing the first character that is name of 0 gives us J as output, and accessing the last character that is name of 3 gives us N as output. So let's consider another example, that is another string that is hello world, which is having space and also the exclamation sign in it as a list, and each character in the string as an item with a corresponding index. So moving on to that, the space and exclamation point are included in the character count. So the following codes involves the evaluation of the string, which is hello world, which is having both space and exclamation mark in it with respect to their indexes. So let us assign this string to a variable that is spam. So the spam of 0 gives us H, and spam of 4 gives us O, and spam of -1 gives us exclamation sign. Because strings also includes negative indexing, it starts from the ending. So spam of -1 gives us exclamation point or exclamation mark. So spam of 0 to 5 gives us hello. If any range is specified from one index to another, the starting index is included and the ending is not included, that is excluded. Next, we have modifying strings. As we know that strings are immutable, that it cannot be changed. So trying to reassign a single character in a string results in a type error. So let us check that we have a variable that is name, which is having a string that is Zufi, a cat. So we are trying to change the seventh position of this string, that is to the. So we get a type error saying that string object does not support item assignment, but we can mutate this string. So the proper way to mutate the string is using slicing and concatenation method to build a new string by copying from parts of the old string. So let us look into the example. Here we have the variable name, which is I mean, that's the same example which was in the before slide, in the previous slide. And we are slicing and concatenating. We are using the indexing method as well here. So name of 0 to 7 gives us Zufi, because we know that the ending index value is not included here, so it gives us Zufi, and we are concatenating this with the, a string the. And again we are accessing the name of 8 to 12. After this concatenation, this is assigned to a new name variable. So if we are trying to print name, we will get Zufi a cat as output. Then if we are trying to print a new name, we will get Zufi the cat as output. So the original string, that is Zufi a cat, that is not modified because strings are immutable. That is not modified, but a new string or new variable will be created, and the string will be modified. Next, we have searching in a string. Python provides methods to search for substrings. So this method involves in and not in operators. So let's see the example. Here we have a variable that is sentence, and we have the string that is I love Python. So searching now the word Python in the sentence, that gives true. As we know that in and not in operator, like searching operator, this always results in boolean values. So we are searching the word Python in sentence, that gives true as output. We have another example, that is another string that is cats and dogs is assigned to the variable sentence. So we are searching cats and not in sentence, that gives false as output. So we can see that here that cats is present in the sentence, and we are using not in operator, so it gives false as the output. Further, we have splitting and joining strings. So, splitting breaks a string into a list of substrings based on a delimiter, and joining combines a list of strings into a single string using the delimiter. So, looking into the example, so we have a string that is hello world. If we try to split this string that is hello world by using a delimiter comma, so we get a result that is a list which is containing these strings separately. So hello will be one string and world will be another string. Because the delimiter used here is comma, it splits wherever the comma is present. Next we have joining. Joining also requires the delimiter. So after the delimiter, the join function is used. Here list is passed as a parameter, and this list is joined into a single string. So next we have common string methods. So Python provides various built-in string methods for common operations. Like some examples are given here. That is lower, which converts a string to lowercase, and upper, which converts a string to uppercase, and is lower, which returns true if all alphabets in a string are in lowercase. Else it returns false. Then is upper, it returns true if all the characters are in uppercase, otherwise it returns false. We have strip, that is which removes leading and trailing white spaces. We also have right strip and left strip, which is used to remove right and left white spaces respectively. We do have many more other common string methods. So let's summarize the prior slides. So strings are a sequence of characters in Python. They can be created, concatenated, and modified using various operations. Strings are immutable, but new strings can be created based on existing strings. Python provides methods for searching, splitting, joining, and other common string operations. That's all about the video. Thank you. Keep calm and keep coding.